Welcome to the making of Freedom Fear. Freedom Fear is a concept album written via a human-robot collaboration. The aim is to encourage critical thought in respect of a future defined by technology. The robot has been designed and built to select audio samples at random and alter them. The robot then decides which effects and parameters to be applied to each sample for choosing a BPM and which samples to be used by the human. The human then writes using only the samples provided with tracks mixed by AI. Let's see how it's been done. So the first step here is we're applying effects to audio samples. So on the right we have Prism, Robotic Process Automation software, and on the left we have Audacity, the open source audio editing software. So I'm just going to kick off the Prism process, and this is the robot picking samples from folders and subfolders of audio samples. Once he's picked a sample, it's going to open Audacity. It's then going to work its way through and decide which effects to be applied. So the bot here is going to apply whatever effects it chooses randomly with no kind of preconceptions, such as don't apply reverb to bass, for example. So it's just going to pick them and make its own mind up on them. So next it's going to import the sample that was selected and play a quick preview of it as well. So we can hear what the sample sounds like in its original form. And now the bot is just going to work its way through, open the menus in Audacity. First of all, actually on the right here, it's selecting the parameters for each effect. So there are parameters between 0 and 100 or different options that be selected. So it's working its way through now, opening the menus, inputting the figures that it's picked to apply the effect according to the decisions that it's made. And it's going to keep working through. So again, the next sample, it's picking the parameters, and then it's going to do the same thing, open the menu and apply them and work its way through. So the bot will just loop through doing this again and again as many times as it needs to, depending on how many samples have been, how many effects have been chosen to be applied. And as I say, the kind of the difference here between what a human would do and what a sample and the bot is doing is it's applying its own logic. It's applying effects in the order it's selected, not necessarily in the order that's the right way. It's applying effects that might not make a lot of sense to a human sort of person that messes with audio files in the first place. It's doing what it chooses, and the result is that you get some weird and wonderful effects. So we're going to just play there. I'm just going to normalising the levels first, bring it up, and now it's going to play a preview of it. Okay, so that's an example of what will happen. You sometimes get more odd ones than that, but it's the luck of the draw when it comes to the bot doing this. So now the bot's saving a copy of that, and it's going to close Audacity and finish up. So that's applying effects, and the next is choosing which samples to be applied for a given track. So the bot is going to work its way through, and it's going to pick the BPM of a track, and on the left hand side there it's going to create a folder with some samples dropped into it. It's going to work its way through. What it's doing here is it's basically picking from the hundreds of samples that have been processed as per the first part of the video. It's going to pick some random ones from that folder, and it's going to move them to the new folder, and then from there the human will pick those samples up, work exclusively with those to the BPM defined. And so we can see here now that that new folder has been created, and there's the samples. So the human then will work exclusively with those. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoy listening. check the links in the bottom for links to Audacity, Blue Prism, and yeah, cheers.